Hello, welcome to Daily Moth. Today is Wednesday, June 5th. Are you ready for some news? Scott Peterson is a former cop for some division, and he had gone into a building and killed 7 people last year. Yesterday he was arrested, and he was charged with 11 counts of something and may face up to 11 years in prison. And luckily, the school did have cameras that were able to record him entering that building and shooting those people that day. And what he should have done was stay outside with the gun. There was a higher up in the Florida Deputy Department that said there was no excuse for his actions. And he caused so many people to die. Peterson's lawyer is trying not to say that it was Peterson's fault and that there was nothing specific that was his intent, but they will have to pay about $100,000. That way they can be approved to use guns again, and he will be on probation. There was another man who had come to see him. Yeah, he will pay a high bid, and that is required in order for him to use GPS again, and he will have to be supervised. The gunman, he's facing the death penalty, and the court is trying to see if that will be approved in 2020. Yesterday in California, there were votes that were taken for discriminating against the use of mushrooms. This is the same thing that's been going on in May. They have been talking about it, about people using mushrooms and other drugs. And it's helping them, relieve stress, but it's also becoming addicting to them. So the city council took a vote, and they all decided that these drugs should still be illegal, at least in their state and in the federal law. And Neil Ammo is a cop who's really serious and focusing on crime in the area. He has noticed that in his family, his grandmother grew up growing mushrooms in her backyard, but she used it for medical purposes. Back in May, the Democrats voted that they will pass a law to allow these mushrooms to be used, but they did not want any criminal influence when it came to the mushrooms. They didn't want to allow it to become legal or give people permission to buy mushrooms, and cops are really trying to catch those people that are using the mushrooms for those purposes. So in both cities, they're trying to interrupt that process and change it a little bit. New York's legislators have decided to pass a law that will ban cat declawing. Governor Andrew did a review and decided to sign a law saying that declawing should be illegal. And this cost about $1 million, or $1,000, I'm sorry. And there is medicine that can be taken for this. The people that support that bid feel angry. And they feel like it could really damage the cat. So people that support it say the same things, that you don't want to cut off a human's finger, so why is it different for a cat? So there are a few states in the United States that have banned this law. And there are also European countries that do not allow declawing. Here are 3 top news briefs. There was a spinning helicopter rescue of a woman who was 74 years old, and she had fallen when she was walking early in the morning. So she was strapped down and airlifted. And what happened was the helicopter just started to spin out of control. And here's a clip from that incident. The air from the helicopter is called air from the helicopter is called rotor. Air from the rotor. And this caused her to spin out of control. Higher ups have said that usually when it gets to that point, they were supposed to stop. But they did have to bring her to the hospital. And when they did, she was okay. She just felt a bit nauseous and kind of dizzy. Our second news brief is that a recent married couple went to a Cardinals baseball game, and his wife ended up dying, or she was found dead, because she fell 7 floors to the parking lot. She fell 7 floors in a parking garage at the baseball game, at the baseball stadium. And he was walking around looking for his wife, angry, not really sure what was going on. The police were asking him, did he park at the top, or did he see her before he fell? And he stated that he did not. So when he went to the top and he looked down, he saw his wife's cell phone laying on the ground, and it was still recording the game. He went to check the video to see what had happened, and she had indeed argued with her husband, and he brutally beat her before she had fallen from the 7th floor, and you could hear her screaming. And you can then hear a thump when she hit the ground. He was arrested and was charged with a felony. And it's possible that they may add charges to this after doing some research. The two of them worked in a prison. And our third news brief is that an older lady whose name is Ruby Rowell, she was arrested and charged with endangerment after pulling a gun on a black couple who was just visiting an area one day because it was a weekend. They went on a picnic, They're walking a dog. During Memorial Day weekend, they were eating, had a picnic. They had their dog as well. And they were checking out camps. The couple was of Jessica and Franklin. And they were driving on the highway, and they just got out of the car when the lady pointed the gun in their face. And here's a video that shows them talking about what had happened.